All right, guys, new intro here for the Bear Pack. We hit our goal of 8,000 subs. Thank you guys very much. We're going to be giving away a jersey on our live show here soon. But, guys, we're looking at 9K subs now. We're getting to Thanksgiving time. We're getting to Christmas time. We would love to hit 10Ks by December 22nd, 23rd, somewhere around there, so we can give someone $1,000 for the Christmas gifts. That'd be a huge lift off someone's shoulders. So please get us a 10K. We love what we're doing. Thank you guys for the support. 12K subs after the 10K. We're going to send someone to a game. Probably not the Super Bowl. Don't get any ideas, guys. But we're gonna do our best to send you guys to two people to a couple games of your choice. That's probably not the Super Bowl. But guys, thank you again for all the support. Let's get into the video. All right, guys, let's get some NCAA football picks and props for Friday, October 27th slate of games. Let's take a look at that leaderboard. Trey, start us off.
Yeah, at the moment, I am 0 for 0, but at the moment, we're looking pretty good. I gave up Virginia Tech minus 2.5 against Syracuse. Syracuse is dead. They haven't looked good for much of the season, and they definitely did not show up early in this game.
Seth?
Yeah, and I also took Virginia Tech here. Maybe they need to bring their basketball coach over to teach them zone defense. I don't know what's going on. But, yeah, Virginia Tech's looking good. That's all that matters.
Yeah, and I sent these boys a video of Enter Sandman at the start of the game. I should have put more money on it. Right now, Virginia Tech's up 10-0 with 5 minutes in the first quarter. They are driving again. They're inside Syracuse 25. So hopefully we get a 17-0 lead for VTech in the first quarter. And I also wanted to point out Seth and I are perfect right now. And Trey said in the text message that he didn't want to jinx us, but I'm just going to say it. We're perfect. So good job, Trey, or good job, Seth, for being perfect the last 7 games. But let's take a look at the plays for tomorrow. We're going to be looking at FAU going up against Charlotte on the road. FAU's -4. The over-under is 43. I'm very interested in this game. Trey, I'll have you start.
Yeah, this one is going to be an interesting one to watch. Neither team, though, has looked overly impressive this season. Florida Atlantic, they come this game 3-4 and are 3-4 ATS as well. I do got to give them this. They have played a pretty tough schedule, and all 4 of those losses have been against quality opponents in Ohio, Illinois, Clemson, and UTSA. So I cannot fault them for losing any of those games. And Charlotte, they come in this game with a 2-5 record, but are 4-3 ATS this season, though. But their offense, guys, has honestly looked inept all season long. Coming into this game, their highest scoring game was 25 points against Georgia State. And overall, they're averaging 14 points per game. That is no bueno. So give me the road team here. I'm going to buy a half point, though, and take Florida Atlantic -3.5 in this game. They should honestly be able to win this game pretty handily. So I don't hate alt spreading it all the way up to -9.5 here, because I do think they should win this game by double digits. The main reason why I love FAU in this game, though, is yes, because Charlotte is just a terrible team overall, but their special teams is just terrible. And Florida Atlantic, they have one of the best special teams in college football, because FAU, they come in this game with the second highest punt return average in the season with 24 punt return yards on average, which is absurd. And they come in this game with a top 50 kick return average with just over 20 yards. So I think Florida Atlantic will be able to flip the field at least once in this game. So give me them here -3.5 against Charlotte.
Love it, Trey. Seth?
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys remember on Saturday, the Charlotte team actually cashed for me because I took the under in the Charlotte versus ECU game. I'm going to go right back to this one, and I'm going to take this under 43 here. The big thing in this matchup is both of these offense struggled to consistently put up any points. FAU is only averaging 24.1 points per game this season, and we're only able to put up 10 points in their last game. Charlotte is even worse than this on offense, only scoring 14.6 points per game, and they also scored only 10 points in their last game as well. The story for this one in this game is going to be the defenses. In their last game, Charlotte only allowed 7 points. They won that game 10-7. Their games have been consistently pretty low scoring. And if we look at both of these two teams, 5 of FAU's last 6 games in October have gone under total points, and 8 of Charlotte's last 9 games against conference opponents have hit the under. So I'm going to fade the offenses in general in this game, and I'm going to take the under as I feel like we are getting a good total in this game, as I'd be surprised if either of these teams score over 20 in this game.
Yeah, I like the play, Seth. I would take the under, but I don't hate myself. I'm going to take FAU. I'm going to risk the 8-0 and take a -6.5. I don't think there's any chance Charlotte wins this game. Charlotte's offense is god-awful. They have scored 10 points or less in 3 of the last 5 games. That was against ECU, like Seth said. I think that score was 10-7, Navy and Florida. And the other 2 games, they were losses, but they did score combined 41 points in those games. So doing the math, they scored 58 points in the last 5 games. That is horrendous. Meanwhile, FAU has scored 20-plus in 2 of their last 3 games, and they hung 56 on South Florida just 2 weeks ago. They're coming off a loss against UTSA where they only scored 10 points, but they have been good against the spread in the last 4 games, covering 3 of their 4. FAU has the way more explosive offense by a wide margin. They're going to be able to score in this game, and Charlotte is not going to be able to score. So give me FAU minus 6.5 as my play. Boys, let's go with the player props. Trey, start us off.
Yeah, at the moment, I am 0 for 0. I give out Kyron Drones over 275.5 pass plus rush yards versus Syracuse. Virginia Tech, they've been coming out feisty in this game, doing some trick plays, taking some passing yards away from Kyron Drones. So that's kind of hurting me. But, guys, I got to hold out faith because Virginia Tech is looking significantly better than Syracuse here.
Seth?
Yeah, and I took Syracuse quarterback Garrett Shader to go under 182.5 pass yards. Through 3 drives, Garrett Shader is 2 for 5 for 11 yards. I am a little nervous about this, though, because with Virginia Tech jumping out to such a big lead, that means Syracuse is absolutely going to air the ball out. I do trust this Virginia Tech secondary, though, so Shader should still hit the under here.
Well, not necessarily because I have LeQuint Allen, the running back for Syracuse, to go over 86.5 rushing yards against VTech. Syracuse is losing right now 13-zip. They did stop VTech in the red zone, but last week when Syracuse was getting blown out, they ran the ball 20 times. So maybe we won't see Schrader throw the ball. Hopefully they do run the ball 20 times because I would love Allen to go over 86.5 rushing yards. Currently has 3 yards on 1 carry, so they aren't even giving him the ball. But hopefully we do cash with Allen. We sweep the board. But boys, let's take a look at our plays for tomorrow. Trey, how you starts off?
Yeah, guys, at some point of a blowout, you just want to run the ball to get out of the game. And hopefully that's what's going to happen here. But I'm going to go with a guy with a pretty badass name. Give me LaJohntay Wester here, over 90.5 receiving yards against Charlotte. I really love this over for Wester here. Just like I said earlier, I expect FAU to come this game and whip Charlotte throughout. And I think they're going to do most of their damage through Wester in this game because FIU, they come in this game just loving to air it out. They enter it averaging the 15th most passing attempts per game in the country with just over 38 per game. And much of those targets have been going and are going to go towards Wester in this game because he comes in this game absolutely dominating on the road. And he's played in 3 road games this season at Clemson, at Illinois, and at South Florida. And 2 of those 3 games, those teams have pretty good cornerbacks. And after those games, he torched every single one of those teams, averaging 122 receiving yards on 12 catches. I expect him to get massive volume again in this game. So give me LaJohntay Wester to go over 90.5 receiving yards versus Charlotte.
Great pick there, Trey. Seth?
Yeah, and I'm going to take a rushing prop, and I'm going to take Charlotte's quarterback, Jalen Jones, over 68.5 rush yards. Yes, I get it. Jalen Jones is a QB, but this is a run-heavy Charlotte offense. In his last game against ECU, Jalen Jones had 26 rushing attempts for 127 yards. Jones has eclipsed 15 rushing attempts in 3 games so far this season and has went 10 or more rush attempts in 5 of his 7 games this season. On top of that, FAU's defense plays perfect into the Charlotte game plan as FAU ranks 97th in rush yards allowed per game, allowing 171.5, and teams are averaging an absurd 40.5 rush attempts per game against FAU this season. Jones is going to get his chances in this game to scramble, and he will likely break a few big ones in this game. In my opinion, this will be a lower scoring game that Charlotte is going to try to win on the ground. I know both of you are in favor of FAU, and they will put up points here, but this is not going to deter Charlotte from running the ball. That's basically all they do. He does not have very many pass attempts over his last few games. I like Jalen Jones here on the over due to the rush volume and the lack of FAU rush defense in this game.
Yeah, Seth, I love that play as well. For my player prop, I'm going to take Larry McCammon to go over 72.5 rushing yards going up against Charlotte. The offense for FAU, we all said it, they haven't been great this season, but they have 2 big-name players, Larry and a guy named LaJohntay Wester that Trey talked about. I'm going to bring some stats for him as well, Trey. Over 50% of the yards on the ground for this team goes to Larry. 40% of the receiving yards for this team goes to Wester. So one of those guys is going to have a really good day, hopefully both of them. I'm going to go with the running back as Charlotte is allowing 143.6 yards per game on the ground, and they're averaging 4.14 yards per carry. Larry's been a workhorse for this team over the last 4 games, collecting a total of 76 carries over the last 4 games. I expect him to get 15-plus carries again in this game as he's averaging 4.9 yards per carry, and Charlotte's giving up 140-plus yards per game on the ground. Give me Larry McCammon to go over 72.5 rushing yards as my play. Guys, let's take a look at that graphic. Seth starts off.
Yeah, and I have the under 43. I have the under 43. I was going to take the alt, but it jumped up to 43, so I'm comfortable with 43. on the under, and then I do have Jalen Jones, Charlotte's quarterback, to go over 68.5 rush yards. Very run-heavy offense. Even when they're losing games, they still run the ball, so I like his chances in this one.
Trey?
Yeah, I took FAU minus 3.5 versus Charlotte. Charlotte's dead. Their team's garbage. It is what it is. I'm not scared of FAU being on the road here. I also gave out LaJohntay Wester over 90.5 receiving yards versus Charlotte. This guy's a dude. This guy's a stud. He should be force-fed throughout this game.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with FAU minus 6.5, change mid-show. But I'm confident with FAU to win by a touchdown. And then I'm going to go with Larry McCammon over 71.5 rushing yards. I think it's out at 72.5, so it's going up just a little bit. So make sure when you guys see this to put in those props. But guys, it's going to do it for NCAA football plays for Friday, October 27th slated games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please be sure to drop a like in this video and subscribe to the channel below. We'll see you guys next video, and thanks for watching. Multiple questions this morning about how to become a member for the YouTube channel. Let's do that really quick tutorial. You're going to go to youtube.com. You're going to go to Bears Profit Plays. You're going to search it in. You're going to hit our thing. There's a join button right just to the right of subscribe. You're going to click that. There's two options. You have the Bear Pack for $4.99. That gives you access to YouTube member plays. And then you have the Bear Pack Gold for $7.99 a month. That gives you access to our member plays on YouTube. And it gives you a 1-month membership to our website, bearsprofitplays.com. So if you get the Bear Pack Gold, you save yourself $2 a month, a little bit cheaper if you want to do that. But that is the tutorial for anybody that needed it. We had multiple questions today through email about how to do it, and it wasn't working. But if you want to know, there it is right there. Trey,